What's up guys, it's Chris. There's just gonna be like a mini update video. It's not gonna be anything too crazy. I just kind of like felt like making a video, like spur of the moment kind of thing. My hair is terrible because I'm like not, it's Saturday. I don't really care. I sort of fixed it a little bit, but it's still a mess. And also these glasses are not because I'm blind, they're just because they're like to protect my eyes from like computer screens and stuff, because it's been straining my eyes lately when I like look at screens, especially when I read stuff. So these are helping a little bit with that, along with a program I'm using on my computer that reduces the blue light harm. So yeah, so a couple things. One, I got my sister's bookshelf. Let me see if I can show, yeah, right there. So I have like all my manga and stuff in there. I also got like this 16months series. I'm reading the second volume right now on paper. I had the first volume there, but there's also volume 3 and 4, which also got recently. And then over there, Twin Star Exorcist, I've gotten 3 more volumes of that. I don't know when I'm gonna read that, but like the Seishin Butayero series, like, you know, I kind of want to get to reading more of that. So yeah, that's a thing. Okay. So yeah. So that's nice, you know, nice bookshelf to like put my books and stuff, and like put like crap so I could keep less crap on my desk basically. So like over there it's just a whole mess. I'm not showing that. But anyways, so recently I'm kind of working my way out of a slump right now. Like I was just kind of like reading some translated Chinese web novels for a bit, because I don't know, I just couldn't focus on Japanese that well. I'm of course I still did get like at least 2 hours of immersion per day, and I was reading a decent amount. Like in the past like 3 weeks, I've read like almost 5 light novels. Um, I say almost 5 because the last one I was reading, I was like 82% of the way through according to Kindle. It's my Kindle, because I was reading on Kindle. And so, you know, almost 5. But I stopped because I was really hooked on it and I really liked it, but like um I don't know, I was just getting kind of like, I enjoyed it a lot and I could have continued reading it, but I was also getting kind of, I don't know, I don't know if I want to say getting tired of it, but like I just want to take a break from it, because I read like almost 4 volumes of the same series, and you know, it's fun at first, but you know, I can't keep reading like the same series like with like the same characters, and there might be new characters that come, but like, you know, same protagonist and like same supporting characters for like such a long period of time. Like I need a break. So yeah. And so yeah, I did buy a Kindle at, like, you know, Matt's recommendation, like from his video. um so I have the Kindle, it's called on Amazon, it's called the all new Kindle with a built-in backlight. So this is the like the 4 gig one. You actually only get 2.5 gigs like to use of free space, though it's not really a big deal, because if you're not reading manga, it's not really a big deal, because manga is the only thing that will like really take up space on a Kindle. So if you're not gonna read manga on a Kindle, then this one works fine. Though if you want to pay like an extra, like what, 30 $40 or something, then you can get the Kindle Paperwhite and get 8 gigs of space. But uh, you know, well, my parents bought it for me, but I didn't want to make them spend like so much money for no reason. Especially because I also I found some free manga on Kindle, and I downloaded like 2 volumes just because I wanted to see how manga was on Kindle, and I don't like it at all. Hell, I'd rather read the manga like on my phone or something like that, or on a tablet if I had one, than Kindle. Like, I don't like it at all. I'd much rather pay a little bit more money to read manga on paper if I want to read manga. I generally prefer reading light novels over manga, but like there's some manga series that really catch my attention, and you know, if I want to read them, I'd rather get them on paper. It's just that I can't afford them right now. But for novels, Kindle, this thing is god. I mean, like, I mean, Matt talked about it in his videos, but you can look up words so easily, like with the monolingual dictionary and stuff like that, and it just makes the reading experience so much easier, less stressful, and like you don't really like, I don't know, you just kind of just keep like swiping through the like, or like tapping through pages. Like it's crazy. It's really like the most fun way to begin reading Japanese. Like I recommend Kindle to anyone start trying to get into like real Japanese books. Kindle is by far the way to go. It's the it's gonna give you the best experience because you can read it anywhere. The battery life lasts long. It's easy to look up words that you don't know, and like there's really no downside to getting a Kindle if you're gonna read a lot. If you're gonna read a lot, and also you know you can get them when you buy off the Kindle store for Amazon Japan. Like you'll get books for the price you would pay if you got them in Japan, and you won't have to like pay like another $8 for shipping or something like that. Though if you want to buy physical and pay the shipping, go ahead. I mean, if I had the money, I'd probably do that for some books, but that would be like when my Japanese is much better and I can more confidently read books. But yeah, I mean, Kindle is just God when it comes to reading, which is why I read so much in the past 3 weeks. So yeah, so aside from that, pitch accent, like I've been working on it. I've since I got so addicted to reading, I like haven't been working on it as much, but I'm working my way back into it. I'm actually listening to I was listening to an audiobook earlier, which I'm gonna get back to, but yeah, so I'm trying to, you know, work on my listening ability a lot more. Pitch accent, I think I think I can hear it sometimes. Like I feel like I'm not used to like being able to like try to hear pitch accent in like just in a regular conversation, or like if it's an individual word I can sort of hear but it's when it's in real Japanese that it's hard to pick out the pitch accent. And I understand this is normal, but you know, like what I have a really hard time hearing is the down step, like when the pitch drops. See, like heiban, like you, it's because it kind of it goes up a little bit and then just kind of stays flat. That's why it's called flat, because it just goes up a little and then just stays like that. But the down step with like atama daka, odaka, and nakadaka, like I don't know, like with atama daka I can't really, I don't know, like hear the down step that well. And just in general, in any of the forms of the down step, any non-heiban, like hearing the down step is like I'm struggling with that. I think it's particularly hard for native English speakers. I'm not sure, but I feel like it is just because of like the way the sound, like the way it drops, I guess, is just, it doesn't like our brain, or at least my brain doesn't process it that well. I don't know. But yeah. So there's that. So like as you can tell, like I've really been enjoying reading Japanese. I actually enjoy reading Japanese more than listening or anything like that, which is why I'm like sort of a little bit forcing myself to like try to focus on listening, because like with reading, the thing is, like if I just play games and read books, like I'll get so much vocabulary from listening, but I mean not from listening, reading. But you know, then my listening will be a little too lacking. And I understand like eventually I'm gonna have to, like, as my listening ability gets better, and if you know, my ability to listen to pitch accent gets pretty good, then you know I'm not gonna really worry about listening versus reading anymore. I'm just gonna do Japanese. So like, just like in English, I don't worry about my listening ability or anything. You know, I just talk, I just read, you know, just like that. But you know, right now, since I'm only at like the 16th month mark, like it's not really something that I wanna, yeah, I don't wanna kind of treat it like my native language in that sense, where I'm not worrying about my listening ability or anything, because it is important. And so yeah, I guess the other thing was that, was there anything else? I don't know, like, so it's reading ability, listening. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh yeah, I haven't been doing much Anki. I've like barely done any at all in a good while. Yes, but when I was reading some books on Kindle, I was saving some sentences, but like, um, I don't know. Sentence mining, it just I don't know why I can't do it the same way. I just can't really do it that much anymore. I don't know. I really just don't like doing it. So yeah. So yeah, that's been basically me this past month. Just like really realized like how much I enjoy reading in Japanese in general. There's still a lot of vocabulary I don't know, obviously. Like with the Seishin Butayoro series, um, I'm reading that series on paper, and I know most of the I'm so far I know most of the vocabulary, and even in book one, like I could understand most of the vocabulary. Like the words that I didn't know were probably in the minority. So basically I probably had around 70% knowledge of all the words in the book, I guess, and there was like the 30% I didn't know. But it varies from like book to book, because like the like with varying genres also the vocabulary usage changes, and so sometimes it can become harder. Like for example, when I was trying to read the first volume of ReZero, which I dropped for now because although I like ReZero, I don't know why it's just hard for me to like get into reading it again. I enjoyed the show, but I don't think I'll really be able to get into the novels at this point. But I don't know, like the vocabulary, like it's not like super difficult vocabulary. It's just that it was stuff I wasn't used to, and of course, reading it on paper, looking up words is more of a pain. So, yeah, and so that's why I like really put more importance on having a Kindle, because it's just easier to look up words and stuff. And yeah, the only reason why I'm getting this series on paper is because I kind of decided I want to read it on paper, because I got the first books on paper and I am able to read them pretty well. you know Even if I like, let's say if I decide to not look up any words, I would still probably be able to understand the series like just fine. I also did watch the anime, so that's part of it, but like the vocabulary itself isn't very complicated. And it's just enjoying to read. Of course, Kindle is way more convenient than paper books in like every way except the fact that Kindle has a battery, but I just enjoy reading paperback time to time. Also because, oh yeah, this is what I forgot to say. When I read on Kindle and I'm able to look up these words constantly, I don't know what it is, but I think the fact that I know I can look up the word every time makes it so that the word doesn't stick as easily in my memory, because like my brain is like, oh well, if I don't remember it, I can just look it up again, and so it doesn't stick as well. But I find when I look up a word that I'm reading on paper, like, I don't know, I guess my brain like works harder to try and remember it, because it knows that it's going to take more effort to look for the meaning in the reading again or something like that. So yeah, so that's a thing. So yeah, I think I'm gonna just leave the video here. It was just like a kind of like quick update, like blah 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 blah, like I'm doing this, whatever, kind of video. So yeah, school's almost over. I might work over the summer, so that's gonna take away a lot of immersion time, but I don't really mind, because I need money for stuff, for immersion equipment, stuff I'm gonna need for college and stuff, college, university, whatever you want to call it. And I have some family visiting, so like my immersion is probably gonna take a hit for like 2 weeks over the summer, just like while family's visiting. The work thing probably isn't gonna be too big of a deal, because that's gonna take around the same amount of time as me going to school. So yeah, so that's basically what's gonna happen. There might be another mini update at some point, because there's gonna be a lot happening between like June and August, June and July, before August, which is the 18-month mark. And all I can say is like like I'm really feeling it more. Like this whole like the fluency really is an illusion. Like I'm just like, when you get better and better language, you just realize how much it's just not a thing. Because there's so many things, like I can understand this book without too much trouble, but if I pick up another book, I'll just be like, whoa, I don't know like half of this. And so it's just one of those things where you just get used to it. You just get used to not knowing things. And I notice now with English, like there are a lot of words when I'm reading a book that I just don't know. you know, and I just kind of just keep reading, and that's it. Like it's just how it is, you know. You just kind of get used to it. But I definitely think I'll be putting more effort into Japanese in terms of like trying to, you know, learn as many words as I come across, you know, compared to English. With English, I'm not really that interested, but with Japanese, I don't know. I just enjoy reading a lot, and I like learning it, and you know, it's a fun time. But yeah. Anyways, like for real this time, that's it for me. I will see you guys some other time, I guess, or something.